Hi everyone! Today I am going to teach you how to make this flower that we showed on my blog. It's covered in crystals. I've actually had this flower for 8 years. So as you can see, they last quite a long time, and they make a great gift, and every time I go out I get at least 5 to 10 compliments when I put that in my hair, so they're quite fun. First thing you're going to need is some silk flowers. You can buy them at any craft store. I go to Joann's or Michael's because I live in Southern California, and they have a really good selection there. Once I've got my flower, I destem them. So I cut them off the stem that they come with, and I just keep them in a box. I have, a huge assorted array, so you can pick whatever you want. Lilies, orchids, have them all. So whatever you want to use. Some of them are more waxy than others, but all of these can be used. Doesn't matter. What you're going to need for your supplies is some fabric stiffener. We have Eileen's here. I use this because it's convenient. If you don't have any fabric stiffener, it's actually just made out of glue and water. So make a solution of glue and water. Make sure that it's not too thick, that you can spread out of a spritzer bottle. That's all you really need. We're going to need some glue to affix the crystals onto the flowers. E6000, a really popular crafting glue, and Goop also. So if you don't have E6000, you can use this. They're both just rubber epoxy glues. You're going to need a pair of pliers that you can snip the wire so you can cut them off of the stems. Don't use scissors because there's a wire inside the flowers. It'll dull your scissors really fast. You're going to need a push pin. I use one that has a little bobble on the top. It's easy for us to hold on to. A pair of tweezers. Again, the tweezers I use, they have the soft pink gripping on the sides. It just makes it easier to hold, but any tweezers will work. And a lid or a dish, something disposable that you're going to put the glue on, and you can just throw it away afterwards. So you're going to need scissors to cut bits off the flower. You're going also for the swatch that goes on the back. Swarovski crystals. I have an assortment here. I buy my crystals in bulk, but the flower that we're making today takes about 200 to 250 crystals. These are the 3 millimeter in size. That's the dimension of the ones I'm using today. Now, you can buy a bulk package online. Craft stores don't sell them, but many places online do. They come in 1,440 pieces. So that's how I get mine. It costs about $30, depending on who you go to, $20 to $30 for a packet of crystals like this. If you buy them at the craft store, you get about 100 for $10. So it just really depends if you're doing a one-time project. I would go to the craft store, but if you're going to use a lot of them, then I would buy them in bulk. We're going to need the scissors. You're going to need that already. You're going to need a swatch of fabric for the back. I'm doing a blue flower today, so I've chosen a piece of blue faux suede. It's thick and durable. It'll last. If you don't have that, you can use felt or a piece of leather, something thicker in consistency so it'll last longer and will hold up in the hair better. A bobby pin that goes on at the very end, and of course a glue gun. You can see that my glue gun has been loved. It's a little worse for wear, but that's what you need. So have a look here, go over everything again. The glue gun, fabric, the bobby pin, crystals, scissors, snipper pliers, glue, fabric stiffener, tweezers, push pin, and a little dish. And of course your choice of a silk flower. So get all your supplies ready and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I have chosen to go with the blue flower that I bought on the stem. So first thing we need to do, I'm going to use this one. I like it, it's quite nice. I think it'll be very pretty. It's got multicolors, it's got some blues and some greens. So what you need to do is go to the back here. You can see that most of them just pop right off. If this was a different flower, this brand I happen to know pops off, but if it was attached, then you would take the wire clipper and you would just go right below it and clip it off where the wire is. But because I know this flower that I use a lot, you can also just pop it right off. So either way is fine. So now that we've got our flower separated, what you have to do, You can feel how soft it is, and once you put the crystals on there, we want it to last. So first thing I do is I look at the edges all around, and some of the flowers you buy, it could be a little bit frayed. So just take your time and go ahead now and take your scissors and trim off any sort of loose bits of fabric or frayed areas or string, or just want to clean it up a little bit. So I do that, and I go around, and you can see like there's some little bits of thread coming out on some of them. So I go through and have a look at them and make sure that I've gotten, you can see the little bits. So you know, if I just trim them up a bit, because sometimes they've been packaged, they're worse for wear, and they're not designed to be turned into a hair ornament. So go ahead, trim them up a bit. Once I have a look, I'm happy with what I see, I will go ahead and get my fabric stiffener. So this is easy, just spray it on. Give it a good saturation. And if you bought the silk flower that's a little bit waxy, you don't need to do this. Some of the orchids that you buy, they're a little bit thicker and waxier in texture, then I wouldn't bother. The front and the back. You can see how glossy and shiny it is. So that's it. Right now, you can see it's all saturated. I'm going to go ahead and just let this sit. Give it about 12 hours, maybe. And once it's nice and dry, you can do it a couple times if you want. Usually for me, because I saturate them so thickly, one time is enough. And then, yeah, if you want to have a really, where it doesn't move at all, then I would do it a couple more times. But this is it. And then we'll come back afterwards and I'll show you how to put the crystals on. Okay, so here we are with my flower. You can see it's nice and thick after the glue has dried. I did actually spray it twice just to give it, the right thickness and make sure that the fabric's, stiffener worked well. Now, what we're going to do today is actually put the crystals onto the flower, and you can see here that I have chosen two colors. I have green and I have a blue that I'm going to use. Now, this one is the 3 millimeters. That's how big these ones are. And these ones are actually 5 millimeters. And so those are the two that I've chosen today. I've got my lid with my pin and my glue. I'm just going to show you quickly the set of tweezers that I use. And yeah, so this is going to be really easy. This is how we put the crystals on. Pretty simple. So what I do is I take a few of the crystals that I have and I put them into a lid. So I have a couple at a time, and you just grab one crystal with a tweezer. I take my pin and I put a tiny bit of glue on the tip of my pin, and then I just put that onto the crystal and then stick it onto the flower. And then I just press it down. The hardest thing about this is how long it takes you to actually put the crystals onto the flower. Some people ask, about the hot fix, the Swarovski crystal hot fix, and they're really good on fabric, t-shirts, things like that. But for the silk flowers, I have done a couple of them. I tried it out when they first came out, and they kept falling off. They just didn't get enough stick to them, so it didn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and just start putting the crystals onto the flower. I'm going to do one at a time. It takes me, once I get into the flow of it, about maybe 2 hours. I'm just going to go ahead and keep on doing this. And once this is all done, I'll come back and I'll show you the finished result. But just, keep on going back and forth, putting a little bit more glue, deciding where you want to put the crystals. I'm putting the green on the inside, and I'm going to put the blue on the outside, and just go from there. And one thing I would recommend is when you're putting the glue on, you have good ventilation. Again, the glue that we're using is the E6000. It's got quite a strong odor. They do put a warning on here that you should have good ventilation because of the vapors, and you can tell when you use it. So just make sure you have open windows or a fan or something, that you're not in a tiny little room. But yeah, so that's it. And as soon as it's done, I will come back and show you the finished result, and then we will go ahead and put the backing on. Thanks so much. Bye. Okay, so here is the flower. 2 hours later, you can see I have put all the crystals on it. I put green kind of in the middle to match the green on the inside, and then blue on the edges. It's quite sparkly. I got a different light here so you can really see. I try to get kind of an idea of how much it shines at night. I love it. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is on the back, we need a way to affix this into your hair. So again, I've got my little piece of fabric here. It's a swatch cloth of the faux suede, and we are just going to go ahead and cut it, because what I want to do is basically put it right here, and a bobby pin is going to go through each side. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit so we can I think that's going to work. Maybe a little bit more. Have a look. Perfect. Okay, so I think I'll put it right here. Now what I do is I have my glue gun, which I said before. I'm going to put some glue on the top. Love glue guns, by the way. They're so much fun. And then on the bottom, easy peasy, grab my flower, right there. Just going to attach it, press it down at the bottom, and because I've known when you wear these a lot, I like to reinforce them with a little bit of glue on the outside as well. You can see that. And then on the bottom, a little bit of glue there. Fabulous. So that's done. Just let it dry, and then I go ahead and put the bobby pin, once it's dry, in the back, and you can go ahead and wear it in your hair. I'll show you shortly. Okay, so here you can see that I have finished making the flower. I've taken the bobby pin and I have just gone ahead and put it right through underneath, little swatch of fabric. So this will hold nicely. The fabric helps the hair stay secure. You can also buy the clips if you want. You can put those on the back. Some people find that's better for their hair type. I have straight hair, so this one works good for me. But now that it's all done, it's ready to wear. It's very beautiful. What I like to do if I'm giving them for a gift is I have these clear boxes, which I've just bought online. They're quite nice. I'll take my business card and my product card in there, directions on how to take care of it. Just put it in, put my nice little flower in there, open those up a little bit, grab the lid, and it's ready to be sent to whoever wants one. You can contact me on my webpage, sofiacifuentes.com. That'll also be in my blog if anybody ever wants to order one. I sell ones like this for about $80. It is, $30 worth of crystals on this flower, plus it takes about 4 to 5 hours to make it. So if you have any questions, definitely, hit me up on my blog or send me an email. And next week's project, I think I'm going to show you guys how to make a cool cuff, a cuff bracelet. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful and it helps you make sparkly items of your own. All right, everybody, take care. All the best. Bye.